He saves so much speed here actually, and oh, and manages to squeeze right into this pipe here. Very, very nice. Land on top, and AKB goes for a crazy spin and gets a beautiful, beautiful push there from the edge. Get a push, and somewhere around here, I thought I was dead. Welcome back to the 5th week of the Cream Pie Cup. We have two beautiful brand new events. The first one by Jonsta, which kind of like feels a bit Line Rider-esque when you look at it. But we have this clear theme of, I don't know, beakers and bottles and Bunsen burners. And it's a full-on chemistry lab. Rather few apples actually. You start up here, then you just kind of have this one that you have to grab, and then make your way all the way to the right part of the level, collect these ones, and you also have all of these in the loop here towards the end. And then we also have the second event by Sunil, a beautiful thematic level as well. You have the Heaven and Hell, and you also have the beautiful shoutouts to two beloved community members that unfortunately have passed away in the past years. Devin and Mawane are not with us anymore, but they are very much not forgotten, and their impact on the community is still felt today. But in honor of these two Elastomania legends, we'll jump into the first event and into the battle for 4th place, where we have me versus my teammate AKB. So a little bit of in-team rivalry here. Let's see who came out on top. We'll start by following AKB here because he's new to these replays. And you come up here, you grab the gravity down, so it's just getting out of that pipe. And both of us coming out here to the left. AKB goes head first, I go wheels first, and I get a little bit better kick here maybe. So I do come out to an early lead, but it's a very long level, so anything can still happen on the way here. But coming out here, and then you had to go down to this bottom part, and you kind of had to catch this corner, use this lip here to get into this ramp down here. It was a very hard transfer actually. And then you come in for this bounce here, and AKB gets a beautiful bounce here in behind. But I managed to keep my lead here a little bit. AKB has a tiny bit more speed here maybe. But then here AKB gets a beautiful push and manages to squeeze right into this pipe here. Very, very nice, very hard to do, and that allows him to get a huge lead over me, or maybe not huge, but a substantial nonetheless. Both of us coming in here head first for this last ramp and for this one apple out here to the right, and AKB manages to even probably extend his lead a little bit. Good push here from the wall, coming down for the very last long jump that you have to do here, and early Olivault pushing in. So you have to catch these corners very, very tightly, because you also have to make this jump and land on top, and AKB goes for a crazy spin and gets a beautiful, beautiful push there from the edge. And coming in for this last loop, maybe lands a little bit high on this test tube here, but manages to get the loop. But I think I had a little bit better landing, so I'm catching up here towards the end. I get a very low jump, I get a little bit of gas on top here. I have more speed, AKB is in the lead, and we both come in for the flowers, and AKB grabs them right ahead of me. You can see AKB had a lead here towards the end. We both get very good jumps here. Again, you had to like not touch these corners, because then you would push yourself out, and you couldn't hit them with the head as well. So you had to just clear them as close as you could. AKB gets a beautiful spin here and even gets a push on the side of this lip. I never managed that, but I get a brake push on top of it at least. But AKB maybe goes a little bit high. You can see I push down, so I will land a little bit lower in this pipe. So I managed to gas a little bit earlier here on the wall, so I can keep a little bit more speed coming out here. And I go very low here, so I'm even able to gas a little bit on top of this polygon here. So I do have more speed than AKB, but I don't jump here. AKB jumps, I don't jump. For some reason I didn't, and that allows AKB to catch the top flowers and reach them sooner than I do. AKB 138.48. I'm less than 0.2 behind, but AKB grabs the 4th place. But as we jump into the battle for 2nd and 3rd place, I can already reveal that 2nd place is more than 3 seconds faster than our times. And in that battle we have two familiar Kaskis. We have Blastic in the red shirt, we have Mira in the ribcage shirt, and we'll start off here by following Mira as they both exit this pipe with gravity up, grab the gravity down, and Mira actually has a very fast start. He's already ahead of Blastic, and they both go towards the right. And completely different start style from me and AKB here. And coming in with a push here, and they grab this apple from above instead of from below. me and AKB came here from the bottom, jumping up to grab that apple, but they both come here upwards and then use this triangle here to use the lip again to come in here. Completely different start style from me and AKB. Is that how they were able to save that much time? Beautiful bounces here by both of them, but Blastic keeping his lead from the start here, and Mira catching up maybe a little bit here with a little bit more speed. Coming in for this long jump here, Mira goes for a spin style, but doesn't really clear this pipe. Blastic clears it better. So Blastic now in the lead here, coming out and not going for head first here, going maybe a little bit safer, but still very fast coming in here for the last apple out here to the right. And Blastic now has a substantial lead. Will Mira be able to catch up here towards the end? We know a lot of things can happen with this long jump and everything, but Blastic losing Mira here. Blastic maybe jumping a little bit higher here. He vaults out more, and you can see Mira has a lower jump here, but comes in and maybe catches up a little bit because of that. Blastic gets a beautiful spin push. Mira gets maybe a little bit weaker one. Blastic keeping his lead here, landing pretty high up on the loop as well. Mira might be catching up here a little bit towards the end. You can see him coming into the screen, but Blastic has a very low jump here, manages to gas, but does go low here, but is able to catch the flowers right before Mira. And first of all, they both had this very different start, coming up here on the top route, jumping in, squeezing in here in this hole, using this bottom of this beaker to come in, grab the apple from above, and both of them having really nice bounces here. It was a very nice bounce to do actually, but it was hard to get it like not too high, not too low. And here we can see this part again. This was a very crucial moment. Mira has a good low speed here, but maybe a little bit too low. He's just not able to clear this corner, whereas Blastic is, sorry. But you can tell that Blastic just gets so much of a lead out of that. He can maintain so much more speed coming out of that part. But then here towards the end, when they go for this jump, Blastic jumps a little bit more high here. So he gets more height out of the jump, but you don't really want that much height. So you can see that Mira catches up a little bit. But Blastic, yeah, he gets very nice spin push here with very good gassing. So in the end, he's able to save that lead. But coming out here towards the end jump, this is scary. P also fails to jump here in the end, just like I did. So you can tell he has a huge lead, but in the end, catch this flower only here. Whereas you can see that Mira is already on his way to the flowers, but a little bit too far behind. So by now I think we can have a pretty good idea of how to get the best time. Grab the gravity down, come down in this middle part, grab the apple from above. Then a nice part here to get straight into this pipe, and also a nice jump here to be able to maybe push from this polygon up here as well. So if you manage to combine all of those things, I think you will see the first place finish where we have 0. Of course, it's the Cactus Man, but with how much will he beat Blastic? That is the question. We keep Blastic here so we can compare as we follow 0 towards the win. Here we have him. Getting also a little bit faster exit here out of the pipe, but then 0 doesn't go for the top route. 0 comes here just like me and AKB. Did he find a faster way to do this start style? Maybe he did. He comes here from below, he sees Blastic coming from above, but who will make it out before the other? Blastic has a huge lead down here below, but will 0 catch up because he gets a good push here? Maybe. It doesn't look like it. Blastic is already down by the bounce here. Boom. 0. 2 seconds after, or something like that. Coming into the pipe only now. How is he gonna be able to catch up to Blastic? He's so far behind, but he gets a very nice push here. And just from that, just from a beautiful, beautiful middle section there, he's already catching up to Blastic here. But can he make this last distance count? Yeah, he goes head first here. I think it's a little bit faster. Blastic keeps his lead so far, but we know anything can happen there in the end. 0 coming here. Good push from the wall, early gassing here down below. Blastic keeping his lead. But let's see if 0 goes maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, he does the Olo and front forward push here. So he can go very low here. And will he get this like crazy AKB spin with the push as well? Let's see. Barely. He almost gets it. But Blastic keeping his lead. Still, 0 coming here. And yeah, I don't know how 0 is gonna catch up from this. Let's see, gets a very low push here as well. Not gassing on top here. But 0 gets the jump. And 0 wins. From only that very ending. Well, and from like brilliant driving, because he clearly chose the wrong route here. just like us in Team EA did. Blastic coming from above, Zero coming from below. And yeah, Zero is like 2 seconds behind. Blastic at 31 bounces, Zero at 33-ish. But Zero has a very, very, very beautiful part here. He comes up, breaks a little, and manages to keep so much speed here, and even gassing a little bit in the ceiling, barely clearing that corner. So already saving a lot of time here, but also good push here, good vaulting, and I think if he got this push here, like AKB did, he would save even more time, but he doesn't. So yeah, it's crazy to me that Blastic was so close to beating Zero here. But Zero gets a very low push. Blastic unfortunately has to push on top of this polygon, otherwise he would hit his head. So because of that, he misses this platform here, so he can't jump from here, whereas Zero can. And yeah, Blastic is still ahead, technically, but the flowers come for Zero sooner than they do for Blastic, and Zero wins. Blastic so close to his first win in the Cream Pie Cup, but unfortunately, Zero beats him out at 134.88 and takes home another victory in the Cream Pie Cup. But maybe someone will beat Zero in the next event, CPC 211 by Sunil, and the battle for third place, which is between me and Anatoly. A matchup I think we've seen maybe even last week. So it's gonna be fun to see who comes out on top as we venture to hell and back. As we start here by following Anatoly, you get a little bit of V-Sync launch out of those vertices that are stacked on top of each other, or polygons. But Anatoly has a good push here, but I go a little bit lower, maybe come out a little bit faster. This pipe was very tricky, very like quick movements here. Anatoly lands a little bit on top of that polygon here, so I managed to squeeze out a tiny bit of a lead here, but I get a kind of awkward entry into this pipe, so Anatoly grabs that lead right back from me. And coming in here for these curvy pipes, very hard section of the level, these curvy pipes here, easy to hit your head anywhere. We come across the devil down here in hell, but Anatoly keeps his lead here, very nice. You could maybe go on top of this polygon, but both of us opting to go here for a hang, and then coming out head first into this swing. This swing was very hard, and this following pipe very narrow, and here you had to go for a tiny bounce. You couldn't bounce too much or you would miss the pipe. If you didn't bounce, you'd lose all your speed, but both of us managing that tiny bounce. And coming up here on the T-Rex, down here for some reason, but I go a little bit lower on the T-Rex. I opt to not get as much speed for this upwards pipe here, which made it a little bit harder, but I managed to make it up here. Very awkward. Anatoly going for a kind of uphill style here, but coming up for this uphill, which was very hard, but you could barely make it. If you manage to keep your grip, you could barely come up here. Very hard to do. But I managed to keep my lead, maybe because I didn't go for as much speed for the setup here. But Anatoly gets a nice push in the ceiling here and comes in with a lot of speed right towards the end here. Anatoly gets the lead, but gets a little bit of snag. I managed to come here and squeeze out the win right at the very end. And yeah, this was just a really fun level to play. I really enjoyed this one. And yeah, Anatoly and me trading places. Anatoly catching the lip here a little bit. I get maybe a little bit better entry here into this zigzag pipe. But yeah, we were very equal all the way throughout here. Anatoly has a little bit better early section, comes out a little bit ahead. And this bounce was just like, it was really fun to play, but you have to just like micro tap break. If you break fully, you get too strong of a bounce, you launch too high. But the trick was to just clear that lip and make it straight in here. Very fun bounce to produce actually. And then coming up on the T-Rex here, and this is so hard when you play Elastomania. When you have this like, you have to make a choice where to stop. Where do you feel comfortable that you have enough speed for this next uphill to come? Because yeah, the further you go on that T-Rex back, the more time you lose basically. So you just have to make it with barely enough speed to make it up here. I come up, Anatoly come up, and yeah, you barely had enough speed to make this lip here as well. Very tricky pipe, like very many moments like this where you just, it feels like everything feels awkward and you barely have enough speed. But Anatoly here gets a nice push in the ceiling, so he gets a lot of speed into this pipe. But then, I will tell you, I had a minor heart attack, because you can tell Anatoly gets a tiny snag here with the front wheel even, so he loses all of that speed that he had. I come out, I get a push, and somewhere around here, I thought I was dead. I was completely sure I was dead here. But I managed to, like, with just a corner of a pixel, I managed to survive this flip right here. Boom. I think it's because I turn, but that just allows me so much speed towards the flower, and in the end, I come out on top. 133.97 against Anatoly's 134.85. In the end, almost like a second win, just because Anatoly got that snag at the very end. But a very long and tricky level, so it was very hard to get every part perfect. But clearly there were two Kuskis who did it better than us, so let's jump into the last two remaining replays of this event, where we have Zero versus BerryP, the two players from Team Dot who are doing so well in this cup so far. Will BerryP be able to beat his own teammate, or will Zero clinch yet another win? Let's find out, as we start by following BerryP, the organizer of the cup as well. I trust that he didn't play the levels too much before this cup. I don't think he would have time actually. But both of them coming out here very fast in the start here, landing up high so they can keep a lot of momentum here. Let's see, beautiful entries here into the pipe as well. Almost like a little bit of bouncing into the other wall there. But Zero has a beautiful entry into this pipe. It was very hard to get into that pipe actually. But Zero does it really well. No braking here. Full speed through the zigzags. And Zero coming out to an early lead here. Will he keep it all the way to the end? Let's find out. Coming out of the loop, will he stay on top or go below? He does go below the pipe here as well. BerryP does as well. Nobody went on top. But let's see this swing here. Very hard to like not jump too high, hit your head. And let's see the tiny bounce. Beautiful. Maybe a little bit too high almost for Zero. But he's able to, like he saves so much speed here actually. And oh, I had an idea that that might be possible. But I actually never even tried it because it just felt so hard. But Zero manages to just use that tail. As I said, like, you don't want to go too far on that back because you just lose so much time. But Zero, yeah, he just uses the tail, stretches, and comes in here for the end, keeping so much speed. Also jumps here into the ceiling like Anatoly did. Saves a lot of speed like that, comes in with a lot of speed in the end. And just a perfect bounce to finish it off. 125. BerryP coming in here at 128. Beautiful run by BerryP as well. Brilliant time. I mean, if you compare it to me and Anatoly, it's light years ahead as well. But Zero, just a little bit more clean. Don't really know why they went for this much wheel pressure here. But yeah, they come in and Zero, like, oh, I meant to slow down here. And Zero coming in here and jumping low, gassing down the back wheel so you can enter straight into this pipe. Beautifully done. Very nice control here as well. Just rocket fast through these pipes, braking as little as possible. I had to brake in some moments to just not get too much speed and hit my head. Coming in here, pretty straightforward. Nice like tiny brake on the bottom here to not go too far into that corner. BerryP also braking quite early. But then coming in here for the swing and manages to get so much speed out of it. Manages to get a very good bounce. Let's just check out BerryP's bounce as well. Very low, nice, good push here into the pipe as well. But here, Zero comes in and goes just for the brake stretch and just barely makes this jump into the pipe. I knew this would be possible, but yeah, I didn't even want to try it. But then coming up here, I thought maybe you would do some kind of like tunnel terror spinning here, but just straight up for the uphill here. And yeah, not much you can do now. But yeah, on the other hand, we did see that the end could mess up a little bit of your runs. But jumping up into the ceiling was very smart. I didn't figure out that myself. Coming in here for the end bounce and a very strong end bounce and manages to clear these lips and everything perfectly. No danger of hitting his head. Also no snagging. Just perfect execution. Beautiful run by Zero and beautiful run by BerryP. And with that, we see Zero still in the lead. We have BerryP behind him. And then Mira, Blastek, and me very close together. I'm actually half a point behind Blastek here. We also see Anatoly climbing. We see Tomater climbing, AKB as well. But of course, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Audi has retired from the cup. And it is a thing about Elastomania Cups and has always been historically. Driving really good times, getting good finishes is one aspect, but keeping your motivation, playing several hours every week, that is another battle. The mental fortitude you need to play these cups. And sometimes, yeah, you just lose motivation. It happens to everyone. And Audi has retired, which is unfortunate because it's very fun to spy Audi. He's a brilliant piper. He's had some very incredible runs in this cup. But on the other hand, it also opens up for maybe more contention for the second and third place. So all the best to Audi for some incredible showings and replays in this cup. But we still have his teammate Mira in third place. we have CMR here, we have EA, we have Anatoly, who's a lone wolf. So I'm still expecting many crazy replays, many crazy styles. But if anyone will be able to beat Zero, I mean, without Audi, the chances are even lower, but you never know. Stay tuned and we'll find out if at least maybe someone can gain an event win against Zero. That's a good goal for now. But until then, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.